Hello, everyone, and welcome to the sixth episode of Beyond Barrage. And today I have with me Ratika, a self learned gardener, a certified yoga trainer, and she was into finance but now shifting her career to yoga and health. Welcome, Ratika, to the sixth episode of Beyond Barrage.
Thank you, Jeff, for giving me this opportunity and sharing my story. I am very privileged to be, on this podcast and on the web series of Beyond Mirage.
That's great. That's great. So, as you say that you are a founder of Rooted India, so I'm very curious to know what Rooted India is all about. And the most curious question that I have is कि rooted का जो spelling है उसमें triple O क्यों है?
Okay, so firstly, it's Rooted. The handle is called Rooted India, but I think we all can't use India in any company's name. Right. So it's only Rooted, and it's basically triple O because initially I started with yoga, gardening, and health content.
Okay.
And the aim also was that I wanted to link each and everything to the roots of India.
Wow.
So when I talk about yoga, I talk about traditional yoga, the Ashtanga Yoga, which is from India. Then I talk about gardening because even if you see, our ancestors used to have, garden in every house. Like even our grandparents, they have so many plants and everything. So that's a thing which is from India. And again, when I talk about health, I want people to go back to Ayurveda and also, the healthy recipes, the desi recipes, basically, ghar ka khana types.
Right.
So yeah, all those things.
That's great. That's great. So as you said that your channel is more about yoga, health, and gardening. Okay. And since you are a certified yoga trainer, the first question I would like to ask is there actually anything like yoga?
Okay, so if I want to be technically correct, there is no such word as yoga. It was Y-O-G, yog, which was derived from a Sanskrit word yuj,
Okay.
Y-U-J. And in Hindi, we call it yog. But when the Hindi words got translated to English, it got yoga. Same way we have Ram, but in English we write it R-A-M-A. But we don't call it Rama, right? And in the same way, it's Krishna and not Krishna. So and it's Dharma and not Dharma. So we write A around all the after all the words when the conversion happened. But there is no such word as yoga. It's yog always.
And then why do you think that actually people are saying yoga and everything? That has become it has become some perception of people and it's continuously being yoga hi hai.
So people have taken it that way. I feel that there is less of correct knowledge on social media. So even if you search about yoga on Google or anywhere, all you will find is yoga postures. So basically people have taken it. And what I also feel is now Indians are also getting into yoga just seeing the Westerners doing it. Right. So we are getting it all wrong. People call so many Hindi words wrong, and our audience, our Indian audience is also not aware about this fact. So there is very lack of true knowledge on social media, on Google, and that's why just people, it's whatever you call it, ki trend mein chal raha hai ya fir I don't know what to call it, but
Right.
It's people how they take it, yeah.
So why people have restricted to say asanas and pranayams only, if I say, because when I see someone who is actually a yoga trainer also, or say someone who is marketing themselves as a yoga teacher or a yoga trainer, they are just propagating asanas and pranayam, which are just, if I am not wrong, 2 steps in the 8 steps of Ashtanga Yoga.
Right.
So why do you think it's happening like that? And why people are restricted to just asanas and pranayams.
Right. So, like, even if you see my page, I talk about all the other 8 steps also, but moreover, it's on asana and pranayam. And day before or else yesterday only, I put out a post wherein I talked about कि yoga is not only about asana and pranayam, and majorly not for weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I tell you कि अभी in states या फिर in foreign, people are getting used to turmeric latte.
Mm-hmm.
That is nothing but our haldi ka doodh, and they are just I don't know, mixing coffee with it and selling it at such a huge prices. So, and now seeing those people, even my Catholic friends are now having haldi ka doodh.
Okay.
And so like it's a thing ki you call it haldi ka doodh or you call it turmeric latte. The basic thing is it has came from India and that is your haldi ka doodh. If you are calling it turmeric latte, it doesn't make any change, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right. It's the same way ki people have taken. So these 2 things were the major attraction towards yoga. Now if I talk about pratyahar or else yam niyams, which are the first 2 steps to ashtanga yoga,
mm-hmm.
people will not be interested to listen to it.
Right.
Secondly, they will never be attracted. Ki like people think ki all the other 8 steps are too much of gyan.
Right.
And like people who are monks only they follow it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have, and even in our schools also, we are never being taught about this thing. I got to know all the 8 steps when I did my course. Mm-hmm. Before that, I never knew ki yoga is more like it is too much or what, like yoga is such a big thing, and asana and pranayam are just 2 tiny bits of it. So it's just that again lack of knowledge.
Right, exactly. So what do you think is a role or a duty of a proper yoga trainer in today's world? If we see yoga as such a big concept, and if we talk about Patanjali Yoga Shastra, which has 8 steps, and yoga generally means union with the real you.
Yeah.
So what do we actually take as a real duty of a yoga trainer? Or if I rephrase it from a student's point of view, what do you think a student should look forward in a real yoga trainer in today's world?
See, there are now 2 aspects. There is, so like when I started my yoga journey, people used to ask me, ki, are you in some, there is this thing, no, in yoga, they call it hot yoga, or else there are various flows.
Yeah. Hot yoga.
Hot yoga.
Okay.
Not hot yoga. Hot yoga is the traditional one.
Right.
But currently people are into hot yoga, and there are various types of yoga.
Okay.
The modern yoga you may call it, but those not are actually yoga. Yeah. So in hot yoga, I think I don't know, there's too much of sweating and all those things. So when I started with my journey and when I was reaching out people for online yoga classes, people used to ask me, you are into which type of yoga?
Okay.
Now, ideally, there is only one type of yoga which you can practice as asana, that's Hatha yoga.
Mm-hmm.
So, it used to be very difficult for me to answer and I used to tell them that I am into traditional yoga.
Okay.
Right. And then people also say, okay, but in traditional yoga, which type of yoga?
Okay.
So, again, the same thing is there. The lack of correct knowledge and what is getting advertised is completely the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to a yoga trainer, there are 2 things. If I stick to the other, so like if any student is coming to me and I will be like, okay, you have to first start with yam and niyam.
Mm-hmm.
Now yam and niyam are the rules and regulation. So like how a person should lead his or her life. Right. So if I tell my students, they will run away just the second day.
Obviously.
Right, nobody is so like people generally are not interested first of all, And then there is also you have to earn.
Mhm.
And though I try to talk about all these things in my posts, but I can't tell in my classes कि we are going to start with step number 1, that's yum.
Yeah. Okay.
That is basically the rules for the society and rules for yourself, niyam.
Right.
Right. So like, again, two things. People should talk about it. Like, you all can give a brief introduction about all the 8 steps to your students. So like, you are just putting these things in their mind.
Okay.
And if they will be interested further, they would search about them.
Mhm.
Right. But like, talking about them as yoga trainers, I think it can be a hindrance in earning.
Okay.
But whenever I get the opportunity, I do tell my students in my classes also, we do practice very traditional things.
Right.
And in my post also, I do talk about them. So yeah, people should talk, but not too much also.
Okay. That's a kind of diplomatic answer that I have received. Okay. So cool.
Because no one is right or wrong, right?
Right. Okay. And if I would like to ask you that, how do you connect yoga with life?
Yoga with life.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, it is taught to us that yoga is a lifestyle.
Yeah. That's true.
So, and basically it's a union of all the things. You have to create a balance, a harmony in whatever you do in your life. Right? So it is said that if you practice yoga, if you practice pranayam and all these things, all the lifestyle related diseases like your PCOS, your diabetes, if it's a lifestyle based, or like various other things get cured. Or like, they have positive impact and thoda sa kam ho jata hai. So ultimately, it's basically affecting your full lifestyle, no?
Right.
It is helping you at your mental state, at your physical state, at your spiritual state. And when you are practicing pranayam, you get peace of mind. Like, actually, dimag shant ho jata hai and all those things. So like that peaceful mind has a very good impact throughout your day.
Right.
You don't do anger much, so it's gradually, if you are practicing continuously, the impact of yoga gradually starts coming in your daily habits.
Right. That's a wonderful
So
thing.
that's why, yeah.
And I think we should dive more deep into this, like how it actually impacts our mind and how what are the various benefits that we have. But I think for that, people should stay tuned for the second episode with you. So,
Sure.
So guys, please follow the page and stay tuned for the second episode with Ratika, because we are going to dive deep into how yoga is going to change our lifestyle and how much time we specially require to practice it daily over a period of time.
Yes.
Chalo.
Yes.
Thank you, Ratika, for joining us. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you for calling me. Bye, Jay.